Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my friends on this very interesting Earth ship. Welcome to this little Alchemy podcast, where if you need a reset in your life or you want to take back your life, then you're welcome here every Sunday as a look at becoming the Master Alchemist of your life. I'm Cindy Carter, an intuitive, an artist, an energy healer, and a spirit consultant. This series of Alchemy podcasts that I put on each Sunday is kind of a place for you to come if you're interested in self-awareness and self-responsibility, beyond any new age concepts and beyond anything that you might be seeing or feeling in the matrix. This is more about aligning with your divinity and your ability to be the Master Alchemist. So last week's podcast, I called it the outside the distraction, where we identified all those distractions from yourself and how to operate outside of these distractions. It can be really challenging to see your daily distractions and realize that you may not be serving your wisdom or your life force by the activities or engagements that you're involved in. We talked about how to focus and how to live in a more divine place in your life. So this brings me to today's topic, which I'm calling Show Up. Just show up to your life. Your life really depends on it. Once you have seen the distractions and you start to live with more divinity involved in your day and your mind and your thoughts, you may be finding yourself in a place where you really need to show up for yourself. Or maybe you have fallen and you need to pick yourself up. Or maybe you're resetting this crazy, crazy life that you created. Or maybe you're in the dismantling phase. A lot of us are doing the dismantling right now. Dismantling the old constructs, the old ideas, the old thought patterns. But you can still dismantle like a creator God with a mission of divine alignment. Let it fall away. Let the people and the places and the things just fall away. So you're in more of an alignment, like more at attention to the warmths of your soul. Because you're finally showing up for your life. I really do love the phrase, show up. When someone says this about another person, it's a real reflection of the inner work and clarity of them to show up fully embodied to the best of their ability, like they're shining light that day. It's not about perfection. It's not about attainment. No way. It's because attainment's kind of a hollow outcome when the intention is not for full awareness and full life. When you believe, like me, that all of life is pretty much perfect. Even the shitty parts are perfect. Seriously, this is where alchemy goes, to the understanding that the consciousness around the earth is malleable, based on the consciousness of each human. So change the consciousness of the humans to more compassion, to more understanding, away from the unkind creator gods, away from the strife of victimhood, away from the rippling of doubt. When we do that, the consciousness of the malleable earth becomes freer, clearer, with the ability for all of us to just start showing up outside of the distractions. But these can be, forays into the dark side. People think that there's perfection. There's even perfection on the dark side. Because people who profess that they have to have perfection, who are obsessed with perfection, oftentimes are riddled in traumas of doubt and inabilities, insecurities. So it's our ability to see beyond our underlying intentions of why you came to this body in the first place. We didn't come here to play out our traumas. We didn't come here to progress traumas or play into failed society's ideas, failed constructs. We didn't come into a body for any of that. We came to witness ourselves. To witness yourself as all the rays of light that are available on this earth. Millions and millions and millions of shades and degrees and frequencies of light from dark to light. You are all the versions of that as consciousness. Wanting expression, wanting seen, wanting hugged, wanting to be acknowledged. This is what the dark within you wants. Acknowledgement. Integration of your mind and your heart to see and feel beyond the expression of negativity for yourself. To witness your divinity within this darkness. That's showing up. When you witness your divinity, you make peace with your past. When you witness your negativity with your divinity, you make peace with what you see and feel. You're like rectifying all the negative aspects of life and the life force around you and around the earth. By allowing yourself to feel and witness from this integrated place where you show up. Showing up here on an earth, well, for yourself, it could be that you came here to assist other people. Well, really, the intention needs to be that you came here for yourself. And then whatever happens with you ripples into the showing up to the others and to the other aspects of darkness on our earth. When you show up, the brotherhood of light rejoices. When you show up, the many lives that you've led sing and dance. When you show up, the angels are finally here to witness your integration. Your higher self is closer than ever to this integration with your soul. When you show up in your cellular body, it's alignment. Now, I'm not saying you show up in all perfect alignment. You can show up to a bad situation and still be in perfect alignment. If you witness yourself in the situation, be aware of how you're acting, how you're feeling, how you're being. And be fully aware of how kind or how loving or how pissed off or how jealous or how blaming you might be. It's all equal in Source's eyes to be aware of the dark and light. You see, you're not shamed by Source, by God's Source. That's a religion thing. Don't make me go there. Because being aware of dark or light brings you further into the higher vibration because you are being aware. Aware of the unseen or the unknown things that start happening within the subconscious mind. When you show up for your life, the subconscious mind will become aware of itself, and then your conscious mind will come on board, becoming aware of itself and not being triggered next time you're in some bad situation where you're witnessing yourself get unraveled. When you witness your unraveling, the unraveling doesn't have to happen again. It's through this loving awareness of just showing up to yourself. Just be there for yourself. I was telling a client yesterday that if she were to think of her higher self as her best friend or her big brother, that, that person or that being would stand by you no matter what. Your higher self is always there. Sometimes it's further away. But, you might be in a situation that you get, your big brother just pulls you out of by the scruff of your neck. That you really thought you wanted to be in that situation, or you really wanted it, or you thought it was going to make you happy, but your big brother pulled you out. That guiding hand that pulled you away into your own awareness is asking for you to see what they see. The higher self has already shown up to see it. From another timeline, the future where you go, like, oh, Susan, please just move forward. No matter the pain you're seeing, you can make it. Life is not as bad as you think. Susan, the future does rectify itself. The people do stop their pain eventually. Please don't take on their pain. Please don't take on your pain. Align with your divinity. Come with me into this alignment with your universal wishes. This is showing up. When you show up to yourself, you're allowing yourself more time in your body to be peaceful and kind and loving and creative, joyful. You know, all those things on that higher vibrating scale. You don't have to fake it too much when you just show up. You end up letting go of time-wasting activities. Now, I'm not saying that TV is all bad, but most of it is, especially mainstream media, completely backwards. And what you are seeing and witnessing is the imploding of a thought form based in a consciousness of a reptilian community that felt that we had to be guided and formed and viewed in a certain way, and that we couldn't make up our own sovereign minds. That's what TV is. So it may not be so beneficial to life or the understanding of showing up. So how are you focusing? How are you paying attention to your own mind, to your own thoughts? How out of alignment with your spirit are your thoughts right now about yourself? We need to get those in check, and only you can do it by redirecting the mind. Focus on higher vibration. That's a start. But if you need help, go seek the help. But ask for them to help you align with your own spirit. Don't go into past stories of how you got here. That is volumes and volumes and volumes of made-up stories in a very malleable timeline. So let's not go there. This world is fast-paced enough. It can swallow you whole if you let distractions take you over. There's already enough asleep people on the earth. We don't need to contribute to that. So I'm not going to put too much emphasis into, this out of alignment thing, but there are things that keep you out of alignment. Like there are some people that believe that every Tuesday they have to clean their bathroom just because that's Tuesday and that's what you do. You show up as a routine, not as a showing up to your divine nature or to your awareness that your bathroom's really not dirty today. Doesn't need cleaning. Or you could do something else in that 20 minutes that you would have done that. Showing up is not a routine. It's more about power and focus and compassion and graceful sharing and creativity and loving community with yourself. Love the versions that you are, even if you're being an asshole. I mean, once you see that you're being an a-hole, you'll stop eventually because it becomes very uncomfortable to watch yourself be that way. It's not your truth. This is not about accomplishment or recognition. Showing up is not about that because not every kid that plays soccer needs a trophy. Entitlement is not what I mean by showing up. We've got to recognize that there's a level that you maybe aren't allowing in your life. A level of wisdom, a level of knowledge, a level of understanding. Perhaps you're not allowing yourself to open your heart because it got crushed by someone or several someones. That's called hiding, not showing up. Are you hiding from yourself? Are you hiding from the love of your own being? Are you hiding from self-love? Some people have a hard time even saying that, much less thinking it, much less bringing it into their life, much less showing up for it. Oh my God, you mean I have to show up for myself? I have to love myself? And I know a lot of people like to avoid this part. Some like to avoid it in the name of defunct ideas like religion, where we teach martyrdom. It was such a great way to teach someone how to not show up, to be in servitude to another idea, another person, another faction, to give your energy away, to be a martyr. No way. You show up in this life, in this body, on this earth, to bring in the consciousness of all the beings that you are on this earth. So ask yourself, how are you showing up in your life? Do you bring a fullness to life, or are you bored? Are you bringing creativity to your hands, to your mind, to your heart? Are you allowing TV and governments and societies and factions to dull you or fog you or to take your life force? I mean, effects like these could be food-based, air-based, people-based, epigenetic-based, intergenerational effects. All these kind of things might keep you from showing up to yourself. That's when you start realizing it. Get the help you seek to be clear. Clear your traumas. Clear your mind. And these effects that have affected you all your life, they become subsided because you're now in alignment with yourself, because you made the intention of showing up right here, allowing your wisdom to speak to you, accessing sweetness within you by showing up. Not for others to revel over you or witness in your showing up, but for you to feel and see your energy, experience and understand and feel yourself. What does it feel like to show up? Well, the reference for me, when I'm asked, what does it feel like to show up? I asked myself that, actually. The reference for me is like when you're taking a really long hike in the mountains, when you're on some switchback rocky trail that's going straight up and you're huffing and puffing and you're really making it up this hill, and it's covered with foliage and shaded by rhododendrons, and it's like lined with mushrooms and flowers, and you're just showing up. There's nothing to do but walk and breathe and experience. And then you come to the crest of the hill and the sunlight and the clouds and the daylight and the sky. It's right there. It's breathtaking. You breathe it in. You feel the fullness of the day, the fullness of the wisdom that you understand this with, fullness of the love of the Mother Earth. That's what it is to show up to me. It's bravery and courage and responsibility. It's intrigue. It's mystery. It's showing up to this event called Earth Time. I mean, dang, it's a wild ride right now. And if we don't center ourselves or get out of the time stamp that we've created for ourselves, we're just showing up in the expressions that people expected us to be, especially those reptilians. We're going to show up in a more divine way like our elders wanted us to. Showing up in all the expressions of consciousness, of yourself, in all the aspects of your existence. Just show up right here. Even all of you that don't even feel like you belong here on this earth. Yep, you. Yeah, you. The ones that since birth on this earth ship, you knew you weren't from here. Like, where the hell did I come from and why did I come here? I speak to those people every day, it feels like. You may feel the love of the Mother Earth and love nature and still not want to be here. and still not want to participate in the foolishness that the asleep humans are playing in. Even if you don't want to be here, you better make a new decision to be here, to stand in your own field of sovereignty like an alchemist, changing the way you see and changing the way you perceive and changing the way you intend your alchemy. No matter if you never felt you belong here, you better reconsider the underlying influence that this intention is holding on your life. And if you have bad things occurring in your life, it may very well be because you chose this since birth. It stops you from progressing into alignment with yourself. You better accept the earth where you are right now and allow the Mother of Earth to accept you in all your flavors, all your light rays. You better show up for her, and you better show up for yourself. It'll change your day, it'll change your week, it'll change your year. If you allow yourself to forgive the gravest feelings within you, the most shameful parts that you have to acknowledge and let go of, these past hurts and repetitive stories, it's time to show up for your divine plan. I mean, is the outside expression of you matching the inside expression of your divinity? If not, let's get out of judgment and just observe. And just say, I won't do that again. That was rude, or that was insensitive of me, or I'm not going to be that way. I'm not going to talk about myself that way. You see, intention setting in the wake of something that you don't care to happen is how you get out of the thing. You don't ridicule yourself for it. You hug yourself instead. You don't tell yourself some crazy narrative of not being worthy. That's just a program that's being put out there to many humans right now. The I'm not worthy program. So by allowing yourself the full universal right to show up in your own life is watching yourself flourish in future timelines. Because how you show up to your life is pretty much how your life turns out. Your intention makes the reality. My intention is to bring about more alchemy and the understanding of this type of self-empowerment. It is a little bit different view of how to operate on an earth. So I'm creating a 2-day workshop around this kind of alchemy. And I'm calling it Live Your Truth as the Master Alchemist. So just look at my website. I'm going to be posting some dates and places to be announced soon where I'll be teaching these workshops. If your intention is wellness and you'd like to accelerate your awareness of yourself, that's one way, is to come into a workshop. Another way is to be a part of my online group mentor program, where I work with 5 people at a time. And we have a 3-month commitment to work with each other bi-weekly in a online Zoom platform where we see each other's faces. We can talk to each other, and I can describe things by drawing and sharing online for you. It's a more palpable way of interaction with yourself and with me. I also have a one-on-one mentor program. It also works the same way. It's a little more involved, a little more intense, and we meet weekly. You can find those on my website. I really would love for you all just to show up for yourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle, and by all means, hug yourself for getting this far on a volatile earth that wants to spit you out. You made it. You're here. Step up and grab the sunshine. Just show up. Show up in the sun. Let's all meet there. Many blessings.